7 p.m. Please be sure to sign in, check the box if you'd like to speak. Now we'll start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I'll second the motion to accept the minutes.
Roll call vote, Mr. McCracken?
Yes.
Mr. Beeson?
Yes.
Mr. Heineman?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills as presented.
I'll second it.
When you do that, sign that. Roll call vote, Mr. Beeson?
Yes.
Mr. Heineman?
Yes.
Mr. McCracken?
Yes.
We've always got the initial. The 2015 banks, July 2015 bank statements are in balance. And I have them here for you guys to review and initial. AT&T billing. We're still pending billing on our mess up on our new lines. I quit paying everything because they owe us probably as much as we owe them. And I've talked to a manager this past week, and he claims he's going to get this thing straightened out. I told him we're not going to pay any bills until he does get it straightened out. And some of the bills are on the old lines that we should never have been charged after May 28th. So he's going to try to work on getting it resolved. And I said I don't want to get the phones disconnected because we aren't paying. He said he'll put some kind of a flag on it not to disconnect. Also, recycling employee Jessica Zepperdeck called me last week. She wants to be terminated. Hasn't worked yet this year, and she wants to be terminated so she can get her OPERS refund. So I need a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion we accept her resignation, take her off the payroll.
I'll second the motion to accept Jessica's resignation.
Okay, roll call vote, Mr. Hyman?
Yes.
Mr. Beeson?
Yes.
Mr. McCracken?
Yes.
And the last thing is last month we quoted a new price on natural gas for the fall, for the next year starting I think December 1st. We agreed to 4.49, that's not right, 419 I believe it was.
Yes.
419. And when the contract came through, it said 374. And he said he'd honor that price if we bill separately, so we'd get a bill from him and a bill from Columbia Gas, or he will honor the original price that he quoted. And I think we had just go with the original price. It's not cost us any difference, it's just a typo.
Okay.
Motion to do that, or do we need one?
I don't think it's, we already approved it. I think it's just informational only, so.
Okay.
And then you want to discuss the banking.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Currently, we're paying $35 a month for the ability to do our online payroll and all our online bill paying, which is a good deal because we're probably saving about that much in just stamps alone. We had to go in from the bank the other day, and she said that we've got a lot of money in the checking account that's earning 0.02% interest. And that they've come out with a new thing. If we change our account from a public fund interest-bearing account to a commercial analysis fund, there's no change in checking account numbers or new checks or anything, but we can earn a lot more money, and they'll waive the $35 because the credits that we're earning on our money will offset the $35 a month, plus we'll earn more interest. Depending on which account we choose, we could get as high as 0.25%, 0.18%, which is 9 times what we're getting, or we could get .50, which is 25 times what we're getting. The only thing we have to do is we have to commit either to half a year or a full year, and that's the difference between the .18 and the .50. We're not using the balance of our money. We'll have a cushion there. We'll keep a cushion. And as long as we don't go below that cushion, we don't get any charges. If we have to go below, it's a $7 charge, which we shouldn't do. Plus, we've got money in the state of Ohio's the Star Ohio account. We've had it ever since I started. Never added a penny or taken a penny away from it, except for the monthly interest. And it's earning 0.1%. It was 0.01, but it's now up to 0.1. And if we opt to do it, we could take that money, bring it into this Farmers Bank fund and get 0.18 or 0.5 or whatever we want. I mean, we might as well do something different. We can make a lot more money, and we're eliminating over $400 a year in charges.
Now the interest stays the same after the 1 year or the...
Probably not. It'll
Drop.
renegotiate back
Yeah.
based on the then current deals they have going.
Basically, I think what she said, she would notify us a week in advance of when it was coming due.
It's not like a CD where you have a 10-day grace period to do something.
Yeah.
You got to do it on the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or on a weekend, we'd have to do it the day before they
Right,
or whatever.
right. But once you're in, you can just let it roll, or you can take it out at that period, whatever. And also with the one that didn't have the $35 fee, what was going to savings was going to give us just double the amount we're getting on checking right now. If we didn't even go with
Maybe
that.
as much as 9 times, depending on how much. you know.
Yeah, I mean, right. And,
It won't be quite 9 times, but I mean, be a whole lot more than we're getting. And we're getting nothing. I think the last payment was $12.33 a month. We're having, $750,000 in our account. Terrible. So, I'd recommend doing something with that.
I guess my thought is maybe if you want to wait a month, have some exact figures for next month, and we
Do
can
that.
split it up, that way you can study it a little more.
One of the things I was concerned about is if you invest in anything other than a checking account, a savings account, or a CD, I have to go to investment class to invest in something like a bank account that I have no control over anyhow. They say both of these accounts they're proposing here are covered, and I don't have to go to investment class. And other township clerks are doing it, and so it's legit. I wouldn't have to go to class for it. So, yeah, I'll check into it in the next month, and we'll get some exact figures.
That's what I would suggest.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else, Tom?
No, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, Jim?
July totals had 1 burial, put approximately 61 tons of asphalt down, used 334 gallons of fuel, and put 1,506 miles on the truck. That's all I have.
Okay. Derek?
All right. The fire department for July, we ran 40 calls, 5 were fire, and there were minor situations, which is a good thing for a change. On the EMS side, we had 35 runs, 16 in Goshen, 14 in Butler, and other calls were 5. My important notes for tonight, due to the unfortunate events of social media, I'm getting all kinds of phone calls from the wreck that we had last Thursday. Everybody's calling me complaining about the 4-way stop sign up here. And realistically, that call wasn't anywhere close to the 4-way stop sign. So I'd just like to clarify that so you guys understand it wasn't due to the fact of the stop sign being intact. It was realistically due to inattentive driving, in my opinion. I don't have it on my note page, but we've unfortunately ran about 4 or 5 pretty critical accidents in the last week and a half. And the cooperation from the police chief's department in Smith Township has been fantastic. So we couldn't get what we need to get done without the help of those guys. So, and our situation we had on 62 was very chaotic from the get-go, and luckily we had enough law enforcement there to keep everything under control. So, other than that, that's all I have, and if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Nothing?
All right, thanks, Derek.
You're welcome.
Paul?
All I have is coming up in a few weeks, September 19th is our big recycling day of the year, Customer Appreciation Day. We have free refreshments. It'll be a scrap tire drive and electronics drive. The thing goes from 9 to 3. The electronics drive just goes from 9 a.m. to noon. But prices are pretty much the same as they were last year, except on electronics. Our TVs, $45, so there's a bargain. And everything else will be free as far as electronics go. I have some flyers there on the table if anybody needs any.
Paul, if you let me know about a week ahead of time what you
Yeah.
need, we'll coordinate with that.
Okay, Steve?
For the month of July, we had a total of 449 events, relatively quiet other than the crashes. On the 45 and 165, we've only had one crash there. So, and I think we've only maybe issued 1 or 2 tickets. So, for the problem that everybody thought it was going to be, so far it hasn't. So hopefully that continues. But it seems to be working. Everybody stopped. I sit up there. BOC sits out there, takes their lunch, and tries to see who's going to wreck. But we haven't had any yet, so I need the trustees to approve. It's that time again for our Mahoning County, Trumbull County local government mutual aid contract. It's just simple. It's just a mutual aid agreement that we've had before. I think it's almost every township in the county, as well as Trumbull for mutual aid. And that way we need them, they come, we need them, or if they need us, we go. It's kind of a good thing when you're, if you get a shooting or you get an officer need help. Boardman, Austintown, Youngstown, all them. I need just to approve to enter into that mutual aid, and I have an agreement after the meeting if you approve it, when you guys can sign it.
I'll make a motion that we renew the mutual aid agreement with Mahoning County.
I'll second it.
Is it just Mahoning County or is it Mahoning?
Mahoning, Trumbull County Local Government Mutual Aid Agreement.
All right.
It's Mahoning County. A roll call vote. Mr. McCracken?
Yes.
Mr. Heineman?
Yes.
Mr. Beeson?
Yes.
The next thing I need the trustees to approve to move Eric Boudet up to part-time. Effective, it'll start on this one, Tom, at the beginning part-time rate, $12.25. He's since he's made reserve, he has passed all 3 of his phases, and he is actually working. So I moved him up to part-time.
I'll make a motion upon the chief's recommendation that we move Mr. Boudet up to part-time officer. I'll second it.
Roll call vote. Mr. Beeson?
Yes.
Mr. McCracken?
Yes.
Mr. Heineman?
Yes.
And the last thing that I have is, I ain't going to say nothing bad about you. Move Detective Reagan up to the position of corporal, starting beyond his pay at $16.90. Kevin has been detective, and this weekend we had an incident where he got to show that he's ready to be a supervisor. So request that he be moved up to corporal with Lieutenant Brent leaving. That does leave a position for a supervisor, and I feel Kevin can step in and do that.
I'll make a motion that we move Officer Reagan to corporal's position.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call. Mr. Heineman?
Yes.
Mr. Beeson?
Yes.
Mr. McCracken?
Yes.
That's it.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah. I guess I had, we'll call him a Smith Township resident, call and talk to me on that culvert on Smith Goshen Road between 14 and Calla, that double culvert. That catch basin that was put in there, it was put in by a contractor years ago. I'm going to say probably 12 to 15 years. It is starting to crumble. It's in sad shape. And he asked me what we would do. And I says, that is your catch basin. But we would be willing to work with you if we could get the thing moved off. What is it, Jim? 8-10 inches from the edge of the road? Maybe not that.
Probably not even that.
And it was Jared Myers. And he's going to talk to Jeff down at Salem Septic to see about making a box or something. And there's 2 culverts there, and I guess one's a 24 and one's a 21. I thought it was an 18. I stopped and measured it, Jim. And I would say, without doing a lot of work, to put anything bigger than a 24 in there, you know, we're going to have to hump the road up or put them pretty deep. And then they have a 12-inch tile that drains the bulk of the water boot on it. So, you know, I haven't heard back from Jared, but whether Jeff can make him a box. So, you know, we got to keep that in mind. We definitely need to make it longer than what it is. I mean, it's real close to the road on the east side and real close on the west side. So, do you think 224s, I hate to go clear to 30,
There's not hardly any cover on the 24s that are there now.
No,
Maybe
there's
6 inches.
and I guess you always, when you put 2 culverts in like that, you always have to worry about washing in between them. And I think Jim's, speaking for you, Jim, I think he's got, maybe make a precast head wall so it's on the bottom side of the culvert. And the other thing, I think it was last Wednesday, I went to a meeting that the Farm Bureau had, and they had Mahoning County Sheriff there on the scales running the truck scales around. And it's as clear as mud. I guess one thing, they called and invited the engineer or someone from the engineer's office. They all declined. But it sounds like he will be fairly lenient, and it don't matter if it's a single axle or semi, tractor and manure spreader, he might scale you. And he's not going to get into we'll call it the inner bridge law. You know, if it's a semi, he's going to allow you at 80,000.
So what on, say farm equipment then, if he's going to do that as far as these ship tankers and so forth, what's he going to do there as far as
He really don't know.
What's legal to him?
He's actually weighed one. And I'm guessing it was in I'll say the Mennonite territory north of Columbiana. Because Sarah Grier was there and Sarah knew something about it. And, because he says, and because whatever tractor it was, it had dual wheels on it, and he says, you got to put the scales on the outside tires, not the inside tires. I couldn't figure that out, but he scaled the tractor and scaled the manure tank. He didn't say if he got a fine. But there is this $250 permit you can buy that well, since Abe's not here, we'll use Abe. Abe can buy that permit. It's good for a year, and it's good for every truck, trailer combination, or, if they had a big manure tank or anything that would come out of that farm. But he, like a lot of the county roads, they were still marked 17 ton. And he wouldn't clarify, if you take the average tri-axle truck is going to be just under 17 ton. What's Chris's weight?
I'm at 27,240.
Okay, I was going to say, I figured around 30, but...
Because I run one going up to the sand pit, it's a 15-ton road, I'm okay empty, but...
Yeah. And, I don't know, because I asked him, I says, have you ever weighed a county truck loaded with salt and grit? Yes, they're under. And I says, did it have a snowplow on? He says, no, they'll be open. So, I talked to several of the residents that was there that I knew the bulk of them, I guess. And everybody said the same thing. It was as clear as mud. And so, because I know Greenwolds had got pinched, and they had to buy 2 separate permits. He was saying that one permit would, like there at Sweet Meadows, that would take care of everything. It didn't, because we talked to Tim Burkhart, and Tim says, nope, that'll take another permit. So, and his last name was Moss. Do you know him?
Mike Moss, or Dave Moss.
Dave, I thought it was Dave. He was the one that kind of was putting it on, and I know one of the farmers that I knew from North Jackson, he thought, boy, they could spend $250, and they have a lot of big silage trucks, a lot of big manure spreaders. He thought $250 would be a bargain, but he's, it's still, so I don't know if we can, to me it didn't sound like the engineer's office and the sheriff's office was on the same page, is what it come down as far as, so if I find out anything else, I'll let you know, but
Is there any other townships they mentioned or counties doing this, other than Mahoning, or is it just basically Mahoning County?
He did not say. And one thing he stressed, he says it's always, everybody always thinks the farmers are exempt. They are not exempt. And I never, let's see. Well, if you got a 5,000 gallon tank and times 8, that's 40,000. Oh, yeah. Some of these bigger manure tanks, you're getting pretty close to 5,000 gallon, and it's unclear what manure actually weighs, but the amount of water in it, it's actually supposed to be lighter than water. Good. So if you say you figured 8 pounds, there's 40,000 in material plus
The
tank, the wagon, and
And the ones that are using sand, they said that goes to 10 pounds a gallon. That's what I've been told.
it could be because the sand would go to the bottom.
Right.
So,
So you don't know, but...
and I'm just the people that was there during, we'll call it wheat harvest here. Nobody got pinched. But I'm guessing when beans and corn start coming off, we're going to see them.
Now, do they have these permits now available, or?
Yeah, but that's, I know from my experience there at Sweet Meadows, this Dave Moss said, you spend this $250 for the permit for the year, you're good with somebody would really benefit, like Big Marty's, I don't know how many trucks and trailers, and that's a very reasonable, but he still, he made it unclear, because the county roads are still posted 17 ton. So, it's, and somebody, well, I'll use myself for an example. They really, if my custom harvester takes a truck out on Duck Creek, they can nail it. But if they come out I'll call it my oil well drive, right on the state route, then he's good.
Yeah.
And they're pushing for that to keep but that isn't.
It's not an option for many farmers.
No,
so,
no. I mean, but
Now, do we have any say in this for our roads? Or are they going to treat our roads the same as their roads?
He really didn't say, but I'm guessing they're going to treat our roads like their roads, because they're bonded through
the county.
Anyway, so I'm guessing they're going to treat our roads the same as theirs. So the only thing, some of
Wait and see.
Yeah, some of the Farm Bureau members, they also agreed it was there, that they was going to try to get things a little more clarified. But, I haven't, especially with the amount of we'll call it new asphalt that's coming in the area, I'm guessing
They'll be out here.
he'll be out.
Yeah.
And so, that's the only other thing. I mean, hopefully I can find something more out. It sounded like, to me though, the sheriff and the engineer has to get onto the same page, because I know the permits, we had to draw 2 different permits. There was actually 2 different jobs, but we had, and the way the sheriff talked, if we bought this $250 permit, we could pretty much go throughout the county. But I guess that's all I have.
Or anything on the muskrat? I mean, we wouldn't.
No, well, Fred's been at Columbiana County Fair all this, and I guess my suggestion, let's go to the fellow that said he wouldn't mind trying it. He is actually taking a job in, I think it's Kentucky. So that is out. And, I don't know what we'll say Plan C is, because like Fred, it won't be long till he's going to be at Canfield Fair, and I think we ought to just.
Does the game warden have any list of people that does this, or?
No, mainly because they are out of season. He was letting this because of what do I want to. It was a nuisance, like a nuisance permit.
I guess it's late in the year as it is. I'm wondering if we ought to just wait till it comes in season, which would be in November, and get a local trapper that'll go in there. They've got all hunting season to clean them out and get rid of them. So,
That's what almost.
I mean, we're
not
through
far
summer
from
now.
it,
Yeah,
so.
we're going to be done mowing. Another month we're going to be down month and a half.
Yeah.
I think I would, we're having a hard time getting somebody to do it now, but if it's profitable, you're going to get somebody that's going to come in and clean them out.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you want to try and line somebody up for that when season comes in, why, it's pretty good as anything.
It's going to be easier to get somebody that can make some money on them than somebody that just
right.
trap them and toss them out in the woods.
Yeah. Right. So.
Okay.
Okay, Todd?
We had a meeting, reference a fair display, and decided that we're going to take all new pictures for this year. I've got started on that, try to have that wrapped up in a week or two. Any residents in the township, we like to do the yesteryear section, which is a lot of old photos from things that have happened in the township over the years. If anyone has anything they'd be willing to let us borrow, we could scan it and copy it and give it back to you. That way, whatever you have, we would not actually be using in the fair. We'd just be making a copy of it, because we do get a lot of good response on the yesteryears. A lot of people like to see the progress the township's made over the years. So if any of the residents happen to have any old photos that they let us scan and return to them, we'd very much appreciate it. Bloomsbury Road culvert, I visited out today, and then I called and talked to Bob. That's slated to be done next Thursday.
This Thursday.
This Thursday? Okay. It's possible that they may close Bloomsbury Road for one day, depending on what they do there. But it'll only be just one day it would be closed. I guess that's it. That's all I have.
On the pictures, you're going to redo the ones for Jim on...
Yeah, I told Jim I'd get with him and...
Okay. You're going to do Steve's for him too, so everything's all the same, or not? Or should he go ahead and do his?
If he wants to do his, it's going to be too hard for me to try to get lined up with all the part-timers and reserves.
Okay. That's fine. Just wanted to make sure so he could get started on his too.
Yeah,
so, okay. All right.
On the Mulsbury culvert, Jim, when you know what day it's definitely going to be, you want to try to get a hold of Derek, so if there is any ambulance calls or fire calls.
Yeah, I told him about it already.
Okay.
They're planning on Thursday for sure, so.
Okay, just...
Okay. All right, well, Tom and I have been, it doesn't seem like it's been 5 years, actually it was a 63-month contract on our copiers that we've had in here. And it's coming due here in September, so we've been pricing again. And Comdoc, which we're with now, actually come in the lowest, at $260 a month. And they've been very good service. Rico was the next one in at $276.89 a month, and 303 on this one, I believe. Yeah, 303 a month with the Toshiba from Team Office. So this is updating all of our 4 copiers that we have for a 60-month lease, not a 63 like the last one was. Talked to police, PD, and Tom and I both used them. You guys use the one in the office, and I think they've been very good. Service has been excellent, so I make a motion that we stay with Comdoc and go with the newer equipment for a 60-month lease at $260.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call vote, Mr. McCracken.
Yes.
Mr. Hyman.
Yes.
Mr. Beeson.
Yes.
That includes the maintenance agreement.
Yeah, it's the full maintenance, and any overages we have, they cut that in half what we was paying on the last contract too. So it's actually only at $3 a month from what we were on the last contract with them. So for new equipment, that's pretty reasonable, I believe. Okay, last meeting we approved to purchase a new cruiser from Sarshones. They were going to pull one out of Michigan. It was already built. The time they went to get it, and then a couple weeks later, it wasn't available. So we're back to square one. We've talked to Sarshones, talked to Donnie, and the new pricing still isn't out. They were hoping it was going to be out the first week of August, but Donnie made contact again today, and it's still, they're working with the state to get the state purchase program set, so that's sort of on hold till we get some new prices, so. There it is. And we had the furnace for the old building, didn't have prices last month. Did get one from Salem Heating. His suggestion over there wasn't to go to a high efficiency because the cost is extremely high for all the more it's used over there. He suggests staying with an 80% on there, and it's an 80,000 BTU. It'd be $1,800 installed. High efficiency, he says you're probably looking $3,600 to $4,000, depending on how much work he has to do. This one he doesn't have to change any duct work. Everything will pretty much install the same. We'll still have 3-foot clearance off the floor with it for water issues. And there's nothing we have to do now. We get some other prices if you want, but that gives us a ballpark what we're looking at. So, I mean, he priced out with the air conditioning and everything, but I don't think we want to get into that for over there. So, there's the furnace itself, and then the other was on the air conditioning if you wanted to look at anything.
Did you talk to the Stitchers about donating?
Once I get a price, I haven't talked to them since I got the price
They
today.
suggested they might
Yeah.
have some money to help us out.
Yeah, they thought they could, and it's one thing I wanted to ask with what they're paying now, are we gaining a little bit, or are we just breaking even, or where are we?
More or less.
And,
I think we're probably using more electric and heat than we are getting money from them. It's only $120 a quarter,
And,
it's less than $500 a year, you know.
I mean, I'm sure this furnace will save someone gas over there, but yeah, we're talking with them. I felt that they definitely would do something. Sort of a bad situation. Miriam's not very good right now, so I mean, we're talking to her daughter, and I'll pass this on, and she'll get it to the people. So by next meeting, I'll see what they can kick in on us, and
Well, we'll get a price off of like Keith August.
yeah, we could. I mean, I didn't know that he had
he's
units.
still-
Is he still on it? Okay. Yeah, that's actually, I've got to talk to him anyhow, so I will.
He may even have something decent that's coming out of somewhere. but
Okay.
It might be worth checking.
Well, yeah, I just didn't know he was in that.
I just happened to think of that
so.
just now. I didn't.
Okay. Well, I'll do that before next meeting then, and we'll just table this till next meeting, 'cause it's
Okay.
nothing that's a rush to do for over
Right.
there, so. Okay, we talked about the fair display. I've got a couple issues we need to go in an executive session to discuss. Road department, that one's scratched off of that. We don't need to discuss anything there. Working with the new superintendent of West Branch, Mr. Phillips, on the SRO contract. Need to discuss that in executive session, and also some potential litigation with the issue with the PD and an incident that had happened, so. Need a second on that.
I'll make a second we go into executive session.
Roll call vote, Mr. Beeson?
Yes.
Mr. McCracken?
Yes.
Mr. Hyman?
Yes.
What's first?